Hello again, YouTube. This is Road Rage 26. And in this one, we're going to talk about marriage and relationships, dating, etc. We're going to talk about work relationships, not just male-female relationships. We're going to talk about work relationships and everything else. And I'm going to try to make this quick, but we're going to talk about the MGTOW and why is it popular. Let's start with that. The reason why MGTOW, red pill content, is getting so popular is because of people's misbehavior. Misbehavior at work, misbehavior on the street, in the grocery store, Walmart, rudeness, disloyalty, etc., etc. It is leading, people's deceptive behavior is leading people just to isolate themselves, when isolating yourself ain't the answer. The answer is to know what to expect out of people, and the people who meet those expectations that you have, deal with them. When you're dealing with females and you're dealing with males, you can't go by looks, you can't go by money. That's just the way it is now. So if you're the type that you want people to say how good the person you with looks, then the chances of you finding the right person is probably slim to none. Now, yeah, you can still find a good-looking person who act right. But what you need to be asking these people is, if I commit to you, how are you going to act 25 years from now? We all change, but you want that person to be similar to what they were. Similarities. If they started out unselfish, you want them to still have a nice level of unselfishness. You want somebody that won't allow the world's poison to seep in. All that little threesome and all that stuff, you can't go for that stuff with a person you committed to. I've seen it happen. People try to do that stuff, it just do not work. And the MGTOW is getting so popular because even in the state of California, I heard Coach Greg Adams say that a woman just has to stay with a man for 10 years and then she'll get lifetime alimony. See, that's that deceptive behavior that leads people not to want to deal with anybody. Just like at work, some of the most biggest snitches, the biggest rats, do the most illegal bad things that could get them fired. But yet they stay in the office telling on people. Workplace relationships also lead people not to want to deal with people. Like me personally. Like, I don't hate any of my coworkers. I don't have a strong dislike for any of my coworkers, but I don't like a lot of what my coworkers do. For different reasons, then they probably don't like what I do. See, I go by the book. I'll go to the superintendent and ask him, how you feel about this, how you feel about that. And whatever he say, I'll roll with that. But everybody don't do that. Some people just try to do what they want to all day long. And these are the type of things that lead people to just want to stay in the house. This is why video games are getting popular. This is why Amazon is growing in popularity. Because people rather just keep their peace, stay off these roads, leave these crazy people, demonized devil people alone, who don't know how to drive, they don't know how to act. Half of these dudes think they too tough for their own good. They steal, they rob, they have drug problems. All these things lead to MGTOW, because people get with people with these same issues. All these things lead to isolation. And let me tell you something. Marriage, right? When you married to somebody, when you committed to somebody, When you want somebody to be faithful to you, you have to provide. If you're a man, you have to provide protection. You have to be a provider. You have to show the woman that you're going to take care of them. Now, some women require more. Some women require all this affection. And that's fine for them, want affection, even though it's not biblical. But it's more westernized than anything. But as long as that person is doing their job, see, each one has to do their job. You're a woman, you have to set it out. You have to give it up. You have to give it up. You don't want him to cheat. Make it where he need Viagra. But if you are sexless, if you one of them people who don't never want to do nothing, then you should never be talking about who's masturbating or who's cheating. Because if now I'm going to show you something. Your boyfriend, husband watching porn, and you've been doing your job, then you probably should get rid of him. But if your boyfriend or husband watching porn because you act like you ain't got no sex drive, then you're gonna have a different decision to make, because it's your fault. And you can't be cheating on people. You committed to somebody, especially in marriage. You start cheating on people, the smart people gonna get rid of you. That's why a lot of these guys are MGTOW too. A lot of women nowadays, they just don't respect men like they did in the past. And they bring their bad relationships into each relationship that they have, which creates problems. And you can't be out here trying to have people on the side at work and stuff and think that your attitude and your sexual behavior is not going to change towards your spouse. It is. And if they're intuitive, they're going to know. So a lot of these things are leading, like I said, to isolation, red pill, MGTOW. People wake up. A lot of people wake up eventually. And then if you one of them deceptive, evil people, and your spouse wakes up, you probably ain't gonna have no spouse. So you need to get y'all act together. And you believers, you spiritual people, stop using the Bible as an excuse not to have sex or to do freaky stuff during sex. The Bible says the marriage bed is undefiled and honorable before all. That's what it says. So you can't use that as an excuse and expect your husband to be a punk and be a dummy and stay with you, and you're not respecting him. You respect your pastor more than him. You respect your supervisor more than him. And your wife, you can't be going around cheating on her, expecting her to provide, expecting her to protect the house, etc. If each person does their part at work, at home, all of this stuff we seeing, anti-social media growing in popularity, all this stuff we seeing, all of that would change. People become more social again. But change starts with each individual person. Don't get married if 20 years down the line you ain't gonna want to have sex. Or you gonna want to cheat. Stay single. This is why women shouldn't be getting mad at MGTOW, because these dudes decide that enough is enough. You should be glad they're keeping it real with you. They're not trying to pretend relationship and be a cheater. Again, you wives, set it out. You husbands, do your part. And I'm out of here.